iRacing is not just a platform for sim racing. It's a community where people who share a similar interest can gather not just in the spirit of competition, but also in the spirit of charity. Today, the Global SimRacing Channel is indeed honored to broadcast this very special event. From Road America, it is the Formula Giving Race for Vimala. A Badger State hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Adam Young joins yours truly, Bill Soupzon, to bring you our Word's Eye view. Joe Peak mans the director's chair, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by Dougie Beard. Adam, this is the place in the broadcast where the producers usually ask us to talk about the racetrack, but because of the special nature of this event, they are asking us to change our routine by first addressing something much more important. What do you got?
Well, you know, this is a charity event aimed at raising money to literally change the lives of children in Mumbai. Now, saving them for leprosy and starvation in the slums and giving them an education, even at college level in some cases. And driver participation in this event is actually free, but many have warmly made donations to the cause. Event organizers' goal is to raise about $1,200 in euro. That amount can fully sustain 2 children for 1 year with food, accommodation, and all expenses for education. It's worthy to note that some of those sponsors actually include iRacing itself. VRS is being able to give a lot of money. Hoiskin Belt Engineering giving away some prizes that you'll see later on in the broadcast. Got to mention the Lions Club of Montesaneri. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of Lions clubs across the world and some Rotary clubs and even with some of my own personal work in the Bahamas. Great organizations to work with there. Dexter Castro also giving away a prize too to be given away later on in the show, and that's just a taste of what we've got going on. And of course, we also want to let you know that you, the viewer, can donate via PayPal to Luca Verani, and that's going to be spelled Lucavarani. Once again, that's Lucavarani. So head on over to PayPal, send a little bit of money to help out with the goal of raising that 1,200 euro. If you are on iRacing, prefer to donate via bank transfer. Very easy to do in Europe, by the way. Just contact Luca via private message on iRacing, and he'll be able to give you some details on that. All right, so now Road America. Of course, we're going to be racing that here for today. You're looking at that beautiful sunrise there across central Wisconsin. And we are racing right now. It's about 6:20 in the morning here in virtual time on this 14-turn road course. About a little bit over 4 miles in length. If you're not familiar with Road America, of course, they've been racing here for a long time, since about 1955. And it's probably one of the most premier road courses in the United States. Always puts on a great show. And if you don't know what race is here, well, go find a list, because it's easier to just tell you who doesn't race here. Most notably, people who don't race here is NASCAR Cup Series. Maybe one day they'll change that. We'll see. But overall, it usually puts on a great event, especially in these cars. Lots of drafting will be going on here for today. And with that, hey, let's go ahead and take a lap around Road America.
All right, we've got Johan Vandenbelt in the GSRC Formula 3, so let's do a lap around Road America. Down the front stretch towards turn 1, you'll see some prime opportunities to make passes due to the draft. But if you can't get it done by the time of braking for the first corner, you're going to find you're slowing each other up significantly. This is a swift right-hander, and it'll cost you speed to take a suboptimal line. Down towards turn 3, there'll be a temptation to send one up the inside, but it's much wiser to set up a good corner exit. Because of the moraine sweep and the heavy braking into turn 5, everyone will be eyeing this corner for a chance to sneak by you. Just be careful not to overshoot it due to the big drop in elevation on your way in. Back uphill, you approach 6. This corner has an annoying crest right where you're trying to slow the car and turn in. You don't have much time to relax afterwards because you've got to set up for 7. This might wind up being kind of marginal in a too-wide situation. It also sends you into the hurried downs, which ends at turn 8. Keep your head up because drivers will sometimes send a desperate move into this left-hander. Finally, you fly through the carousel, and it'll require a little throttle modulation as you work your way around it. Ideally, you'll want to focus on lining the car up for a good launch off of here. you're going to be on the power for a long, long time, and any loss of momentum will hurt. The kink is pretty easily flat out in the F3, making the amount of speed you build all the more impressive. The kettle bottoms will mostly be about straightening out the little bends in the track and then making it a nice straight line into Canada Corner. This is the last good spot on the lap for an overtake, so many close battles will get decided in this famous turn. Because the sand is right there at the edge of the track, expect the exit to get kind of dirty. No lifting needed through Bill Mitchell Bend, but you've got to whip to the left immediately with the final turn coming up. Fail to get a late apex through here and face the consequences on the run to the line. The F3 is fast, but it doesn't have a lot of grunt, so the steep uphill makes you suffer extra hard. But hopefully, if you've kept it all together, you've now finished a lap around Road America.
And there's a lap around the 4 miles. That is Road America. I just did a broadcast a few hours ago at the same racetrack. Of course, it was the SRFs. It's almost like I'm doing the broadcast and fast forward right now as these Formula 3 cars get around a little faster than those Spec Racer Fords. Brian Lockwood sitting at the top of our qualifying right now, Adam.
I was going to say, these things are definitely a little bit faster. I mean, those Spec Racer Fords, I mean, I think they're probably, almost 30 seconds slower around here?
Yeah, they do about 35, I think. They were doing 233s. These guys are doing 154s.
Yeah, I mean, it's very quick. I mean, the time right now, of course, Lockwood and also Halliburton, they're on your screen, both in the 54s. I mean, those are pretty quick lap times in these cars. So, and they were pretty close in practice as well. So, you know, already the front part of the grid on this race shaping up to be pretty competitive. You can't forget that you do have the likes of Luke Barton out there, Luca Ferrani. I saw Wyatt Good checking in here just a little while ago. We'll see if he ends up actually competing here for today. Of course, maybe he was logging as a spectator. I don't know. But I did see his name pop up somewhere. But you know, there's going to be some names in here that you're going to know, some names in here that you might not know, which is always great for these kind of events, charity events, because everybody kind of comes together from all different corners of the iRacing world to be able to come out here and race this kind of event. And there's your race organizer, Luca Verani. You saw there for a second. There's Luke Barton, the UK&I driver. All these guys now in the 55s. I mean, so you're looking at all the, you know, I think right now the top 10, will actually go back to the top 20. Top 20, Soup, all within 2 seconds of each other qualifying right now.
Yeah, that's good. That bodes for a competitive event. Oh, we had a little bit of an off there from somebody. Get that out of the way during qualifying. You know, this is a big racetrack, and with now iRacing's dynamic weather, you'll get to see drivers race out from beneath the clouds. They'll be in the overcast. They'll come out into the sunshine. With that in mind, Adam, why don't you take a look at the weather, see what's going on here today?
Oh, okay, yeah, weather. You know, I've only done enough of that the last few days. 73 degrees, the temperature out there right now. So it's actually a relatively warm morning out there. Of course, this is set up to be mid-May, so that's pretty good. Mid-May in Wisconsin, about 6:30 in the morning. Track temperature at 74. The track temperature, I think, will be key here as the sun gets a little bit higher in the sky. We'll be watching that track temperature inch upward a little bit. Winds out of the southwest about 11 miles per hour, and the humidity only about 61%. So not looking at the horsepower being robbed too much from these vehicles with the high humidity here for today, and of course partly cloudy skies. So overall, weather-wise, I think it's going to be pretty good, especially at the start of the race. But Soup, as the cars get a little bit lighter and a little bit taller, you're probably going to want a little bit more grip as the track gets a little slippier. So I think it'd be interesting to see how much we see lap times fall off, if they fall off at all between the start and end. Of course, open wheelers, we usually talk about the track times getting faster, but with the track conditions changing, it might be the opposite here this afternoon.
For me on the iRacing service, the two scariest corners that I have to deal with is Road America Turn 5. Road Atlanta Turn 5, and then here at Road America, the kink. You were in this Formula 3 here a while ago. How does the kink play? Is it a little less scary? Do you have to lift? Do you have to negotiate? How's it play out in this car?
You can go flat out in the kink. You know, as long as, and in fact, I even think in this car, you might even be able to go side by side through the kink and be able to be okay. The question's going to be is if your car is set up oversteery or understeery or anything else. Remember, these are going to be open setups here for today. Look at Robert Plumbley having a little bit of a problem there, hitting into the concrete. That's going to be the key there through the kink about what you're going to be able to do, because what I was noticing with myself and a few of these guys out here is if you touch the grass at any point through the process of going through the kink in this car, whether it be the entrance, the middle, if you really want to cut the corner there in the kink, or the outside of the kink, you're going to be a passenger. And that could be where we see some big incidents happen, as we've seen some big incidents happen there in the real world over the last few years.
As our director continues to kind of scroll through the field, seeing who's out there. You know, you were reading some of the suggestions that Luca Verani, the race organizer, had in mind. He had some special ideas about how lap 1 was supposed to be dealt.
Yeah, okay, so lap 1, and I guess this is how they've done the big grid events in the past. They don't want people to gain places at the start. They want everybody to just kind of get started nice and cleanly and get in single file before you really start racing, just to kind of avoid any kind of major calamity at the start of this race and knock out a large number of people. That's a pretty good way to do it, and then let them go racing after you get in single file.
Looking at some of the drivers trying to put in qualifying times. I'd like to put a driver that I'm familiar with. Can we look at the 25 car of Kane Halliburton? This is a driver that I know who specializes in the SRF. It's interesting to see him out here racing in this more powerful car and still being really quick.
Road America, to me, is one of those places that once you learn the line, and you can pretty much go faster in almost any car with the exception of a big, heavy stock car. That's just a different level. But as far as some of these Formula cars, cars with downforce, as long as you learn the line, and you should be able to do okay here. And I think you're seeing that at Kane Halliburton. Soup, we talked a few minutes ago. We were talking about the qualifying times. That is now, you're looking at your top 25, all within 2 seconds of each other. So that's incredible parity in a field like this.
So let me tell you what is actually in store today. We are racing 22 laps. Now, the drivers get a faster pair, but if they need it, that's going to really be the end of their day, as we expect this to be a no pit stop race. This is going to be a sprint. And honestly, 22 laps, we expect that to run somewhere, around 45 minutes or so.
And we'll have to see how the race plays out, because, some of those prizes that we're going to give away at the end of this thing are going to be grouped by position. So, it could be worth getting back out there and trying your hardest to get up there again. So, we'll have to see. I think that, that's one thing about the charity events. Yeah, the wins mostly going to be just for bragging rights. So, get out there and try to get every little spot you can, because you never know what will put you up in the prize category.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Of course, if you want to make a donation, we have a link to it on the GSRC YouTube page, so head on over there if you'd like to donate to the cause. It is a worthy cause. I was talking to Luca earlier, and there is a nun over there that does some incredible things, and that's it's really a good donation, or a good charity. But we also have some fun at the end. You want to stick around? We have some lotteries to go. We'll have a spinning wheel. There'll be candy and dancing girls. You want to stick around for the post-race show. We're going to give away some prizes. That's going to be fun. Boy, look at that. Look at that right now. I don't mean to interrupt, but talking about the overcast. Look at how dark it is there now on the track.
Yeah, cloud moving over top of the sun, which of course will be amplified in this early morning atmosphere that we've got going on here. Only about 1 minute 5 seconds left here in qualifying. And I do want to mention too, we were talking about the prizes. You do have to finish in order to get a prize out there as well. So that's something you definitely want to keep in mind. And if try to hang on to that faster pair as long as you can, just in case you need it to, I guess, survive the event.
You want to stick around and get into the lottery at the end. It's going to be fun. We got some special stuff going on at the post-race show. All right, just a few minutes to go a few seconds to go in qualifying. We had a big field here today. 50 drivers were able to put in qualifying times, 52 names on the entry list. My guess would be we have a standing start for this one, just based on the type of automobiles these are. I just feel like a standing start is the way to do it. So with that in mind, we're going to give you the grid right now, assuming things pretty much hold station. On the front row is going to be Brian Lockwood. He's going to be flanked by Kane Halliburton. Ross Woodford is going to be on the third position inside of John Miller. Massimo Lucatello is going to be in the fifth position. Tom Janssen is going to be outside of him. Dennis Hicketing in the seventh position. I welcome you all to play the GSRC consumption game every time one of the commentators butchers a name. Take a sip. Luke Barden is going to be in eighth position. Rounding out the top 10 positions in row 5 is Luca Verani and Nicholas Rasmussen in 10th. Your turn, Adam.
If we're doing the drinking game like that, there's going to be nobody left standing by the time.
We're using it's apple juice.
Apple juice. Okay. Mehdi El Fathi is going to be on the inside of row 6. Alongside him will be Gabriel Martin Alvarado. And then we've got Everett Paddock out there. And then also just now, shaked around a little bit, Clark Williams moves up into the 14th position as the clock comes down to an end. He's going to offset Fabian Siegman. Antonio Zaragoza will be starting alongside him in row 8. Row 9 is going to be Loic Barbe. Joe Bevers is going to be in 18th position. And round out your top 20 will be Tom Van Humen and Christoph Amon.
Our early start. Some of these may shuffle around a little bit when they take the grid, but you get the idea. In 21st position is Alex Westphal. Klaus Gruger is going to be in the double duck position. Bruno Berg and Adam Levitt go in 23rd and 24th. The row behind them is Mario Pesch and Josh Brain. 27th and 28th is Alon Day and Derek Beadle, followed by in row, would that be, I guess be row 10, would be Stuart Milne. And then next to him is, I'll take a shot at this one, Massimiliano Pasavieto. I'm going to try that last one. Pisavento. There we go. Don't sip on that one, folks. Your turn, Adam.
Giovanni Soletto will be out there in 31st position, making up row 16. Alongside him be Florian Bunch. Colin Jackson will be out there today. Sergio Bianco starting alongside him. Mike Sayer. And then also Simone Pizzacca. Sorry, like I said, hey, it's a drinking game. We matched up a name. Alex Schmidt and Nick Thomas will be starting alongside each other. And then to make up row 20, Martin Booker and Neil Dawkins.
In 41st, it's Frank Mutz, Luciano Lurinco in the 42nd position, Fabrizio Giogini. In 43rd position. They're killing me now. Nork Khan Nguyen in the 44th position. Narcio Meridin in the 45th spot. Here we go. I got just a few more to go. Enjoy it. Tim Phillips, that was easy. Joe Walker, I'm on a roll now. Lance Simon. Vladimir Cardello in the 49th spot. I'm going to finish these up because I'm a glutton for punishment. Robert Sugar Plumley in the 50th position. Lewis Emerton behind him. And finally, the last car out there will be Jean-Michel Sanchez. All right. For those of you who are still conscious, let's get down to some racing.
Has 52 names there. So this might be one of our larger fields that we've had in a while outside of Absolute Beginners League. So always like these big grids. It definitely makes things a little bit interesting out there.
I'm hoping that Massimiliano Pesavento does really well because I've been working on that name now. I hope he drives through the field. I get to call that one a lot. All right, it does look like a standing start as they start to line up underneath this Wisconsin sun. 22 laps of racing for a wonderful cause. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. We'll do our best to make it entertaining. Keep our fingers crossed for a nice, clean first lap as we bring a lot of cars down into that sweeping right-hander.
Looks like the official count's going to be 51 cars starting this race. Lewis Emerton will be the one dropping out. So 51 cars here at Road America.
Yeah, if you want to buy a ticket, you want to be in corner 5. I'll tell you right now, these guys are going to be really behaved through 1. They'll be really behaved through 3. But when it comes down to corner 5, it's just too tempting. They got to go too wide. Something's going to happen down there the first lap. You can almost guarantee it. We look on from above, and we see that Brian Lockwood out there. Lockwood ready to take control of this field. All the drivers griding up now. As I scroll back, I don't see any empty spots. I think we're ready to go. Lights are up. The engines start to harmonize. Gather at the chicken steak. Cover me on the cows. The horses are indeed out of the barn. Brian Lockwood leads this large stampede of cars down into the first corner. In second, it's Halliburton. Woodford in fourth position now as he loses a spot. They're clean through one.
Yeah, still a lot of side-by-side action there. Heading out through turn 3.
A little bit of problems in the back. Some people went off in the beach, but I don't think there was any contact. Everybody's racing now. Here they come, folks. I told you to watch out for corner 5. They're on their way. Will we get them all through? Lockwood is first. 1, 2, 3. Now they go through 2 by 2. Look at this. So far, so good. We're through the mid-pack. Oh, and there's the big pileup. It involves a Klaus Gruger involved in it. We'll come back and take a look at that one a little bit later. Another car that's parked out there. Boy, they continue to have issues. In fact, this will be a fun one to watch. There was a car that was parked. Giovanni Saletto will be real fun. Keep that name in your mind. We'll come back and take a look at his first lap. Almost like we've done this before. Brian Lockwood negotiating the kink, heading down to Canada Corner for the first time. Opening up a bit of a lead on Halliburton.
I would estimate we probably had 10 or 15 cars there involved in wrecks here on the first lap alone. So, but it does look like in the aftermath of all that, for the most part, everybody is going single file here. A few battles out there as well. Looking at Gabriel Martin Alvarado sitting back in 12th position in car number 43. He's having to hold off Antonio Zaragoza right now, so that's going to be for, looks like as everything shakes out, 13th and 14th position here.
Look, Barbie, for whatever reason, comes in to make a pit stop from 17th position. Maybe he picked up some damage in that incident. You know, that incident took place at about 25th position, and usually in a normal-sized field, that's the back of the pack, and you don't have it, but that was only halfway through. Still had a lot of cars coming through, and that's where all the damage came from. First lap is in. Remember, there are fast repairs, and drivers must finish to be eligible for a prize, so a lot of those guys are going to come in, get a fresh car, go out and run some laps. We'll see him for the lottery in the post-race show. Look at this battle for P3. This is Ross Woodford being challenged by Ton Janssen. Watching on in 5th is John Miller. We've jumped you around a little bit, so let's stay on this one for a little while. See if Janssen can make a move.
This will be a good look to see just how much of a role the draft's going to play here. I mean, I anticipate the draft playing a big role here, especially as we get ready to approach the carousel. We're in the carousel now. Watching these guys go through the sweeping turn 9 and 10, eventually approach the kink, and then we'll go down through Kettle Bottoms. And there might be a move down into Canada here. We'll see if he's able to get a good run here out of the kink. Indeed, he's going to take a look.
You put your left nose in, you put your left nose out, you put your left nose in, and you shake it all about, do the hokey pokey, and make the pass. Ton Janssen gets it done. Yeah, he finishes.
Yeah, I think Ross Woodford right there decided, it's still early. I'm going to blip the throttle just a touch and let you get in front of me for right now. So Todd Janssen's able to complete that move as we now head up the Road America Straight.
The little dance done by Janssen and Woodford is going to let Miller and Barden. Watch look back here for 6th position. This is for 5th. Under attack is John Miller. Here comes Luke Barden, a name we know from the Apex Online Racing League. Does not make the pass. Some good racing going on. 3rd all the way back to, what would you say back there, about to 8th position.
Yeah, nice little pack right here. And of course, in front of these guys, Brian Lockwood and Kate Halliburton are starting to check out as these guys have been racing here. So this is the tightest battle on the racetrack for position.
All right, now here comes Barton making another move on Miller. He's gonna have to wait as he took a peek down into 5. Oh boy! Almost gets into the gearbox, and Miller gets it checked up. I tell you, 5 is your action corner. Barton has places to go. He would like to get Miller, and then he's see I can get Woodford, and I can get Janssen, and then start heading off on the guys up front. Look at Rasmussen back in P8. This is Nicholas Rasmussen and our series organizer, Lucas Verani. Nice little battle. Both those drivers inside the top 10. All right, let's go to fourth again. This is Woodford, and here comes Miller making a boy. He pulls alongside, but the car, they just don't go anywhere. That's about the third or fourth time I've seen that happen.
I think a lot of them are starting to top out at the end of the kettle bottom straight there. So that very well could be what we're seeing is you're only able to use the draft a little bit. Probably Halliburton. Halliburton's off.
The driver who was in second. Just a mistake. Is that heading to the very final corner? That's out of 13A. Well, that's an interesting place to have a mistake.
It looked like he hit the curb just a touch. You see it here, and it looked like he was going to be straight. Then I think maybe the rear tires started hopping on him a little bit after that and set it in a spin cycle. Very lucky not to touch anything there. You've seen people spin there before. It doesn't happen too often, but usually does. Their momentum carries them in the concrete. He was able to avoid that. So no harm, no foul, other than his pride in a few positions lost.
As we look at the pass on 3, and that's some commentary on my part from somebody who has 0 seat time in the car. This looking at the track back saying 13A shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, right, Suit, you try it. Nice battle going on here for what would be a 5th spot. Now, if you look at that, we talked about the guy who had places to go. Luke Barton, racing in 4th, has pretty much negotiated himself through all that field. He's got one more guy he'd like to run up on the back of Ross Woodford, see if he can get that done.
Ooh, Mehdi Al-Fathi running in 9th, just had a big off, and he's going to jam up the guys behind him, that being Gabriel Martin Alvarado and Kane Halliburton now stuck back there. That was very, very tricky there. I believe that was going through corner 5 just a moment ago.
We're going to take a look at this one as we had a problem back in 20th position. And we're looking at the car of, Amon, Christoph Amon. Let's see what happens to him. He's all by himself. Oh, it's in front of him. He has to take evasive auction onto the B. Oh, and he collects the car in front of him. You be the driver, you make them blind, you decide where to go. Seemed like a good idea at the time. All right, I'll go out here, and the car just rolls back into him. So more drivers going to have to partake in the fast repair option.
And I've been watching Mehdi Al-Fathi here ever since he had his issue. That bunch, Kane Halliburton's finally been able to get in front of that pack, but it keeps getting bunched up. Alvarado had a big off just a little while ago to avoid getting in the side of Al-Fathi, and now it's just that pack is just coming together, and they've had a few close moments here over the last 2 minutes or so. Ooh, in fact, look at that. Mehdi Al-Fathi once again almost loses control. Kane Halliburton almost loses coming out of that corner. Now they're going to run side by side here. It's going through turn 6.
This continues to heat up. Now with Halliburton clear, I expect him to drive away unless the car picked up some damage. The 2 cars behind him, though, Clark Williams is under attack from Antonio Zaragoza. Zaragoza with a good run coming out of the carousel. Let's see if we can stay on this one. This is a battle for 11th. We'll see. Zaragoza losing a little ground now. Yeah, I don't think he has anything for Williams. Williams going to drive away. Let's look a little farther back, Adam. 22nd position is a nice little battle. This is Josh Brain and Tim Phillips. Phillips chasing. All right, let's see if these guys can make a pass going into Canada. Oh, Phillips with a bit of a run, and again, the car just won't go.
Now, Josh Brain does have a little bit of front wing damage, actually, on both sides of the front wing. So you'd think that you might be able to get a pull on him, but so far, hadn't had much luck with it.
We continue to watch the racing in the beneath the clouds. Well, that's going down. I can report that Brian Lockwood is just out in front, cooking with hot fish grease now, 5 seconds ahead of Ton Janssen. Maybe we can check in on Ton Janssen real quick in a second. It looks like that battle, is that going to settle down? Yeah, we'll go in and check, and we haven't seen these guys much. About 7/10 of a second on Ross Woodford. Woodford rounding out the podium. The guy to watch, Luke Barden back there. He's about a second behind and coming. Racing in fourth. Another driver on the move. It's a driver in fifth. Dennis Vindeking. He's up 2 spots. He just was able to get around John Miller this time. So he's coming. Let me give you that interval between him and Barden. 1.7. Keep an eye on that one. Want a hard charger? If I'm looking at this right, maybe a little bit of love to the driver in 21st position. Can these numbers be right? Yeah, he started in 42nd. He's cut that in half. I'm talking about Masio. Uh-oh, Woodford had an issue. He loses it right in front of Luke Barden. Puts it off into the beach. Loses 3 positions, 4 positions.
And still having lots of trouble getting it going.
Yeah, we'll stay on this a while. He had the opportunity to come out in front of Halliburton, but his attempts to get the car back onto the pavement did not go as planned. Stay on it. All right, got it pointed in the right direction. And then, oops, that's not where the track is. Luckily, keeps it off the wall. So he's going to find himself well down the order when that's all said and done. He sorts back out in 17th. All right, let's go to our hard charger, 21st position. Marcio Maradon. Started in 42nd, cut that in half, racing in 21st all by himself. Just give him a little love. He's got him. Oh, we're looking here. This is Williams. Yeah.
Yeah,
now it looks like it was corner
we
6.
Were watching a little while ago. Oh, and it looks like the rear tires just gave way under braking there, and then he had trouble getting it back going straight.
At the spun, brings it back out onto the track, and is now down in 18th. Oh, let's go to Stuart Milne in 48th. This just happened, I believe. This is a big one. Milne, Nick Thomas, these guys were a little farther back in the field. I'm not sure. Maybe we're not going to be able to get this because of the size of the field. We're going to take a shot. Milne got just, Nick Thomas got into the back of him. I think we're going to be able to see it. It happens right coming up right here. These guys were racing well back, but nevertheless, they were out there in the...
And that's a blind corner. You're coming up over top of that hill, and it's so hard to see what's going on right there. And that's been it seems like here lately, I mean, that's not, we saw the last incident was going there through turn 6 underneath the Corvette bridge, and I've seen a few of my own, a few minor ones. It's like I wonder if that's becoming the problem spot here, and our director just made a note that the cars seem twitchy, and I have to wonder, I mean, we're already 8 laps into this race, we're almost at the halfway point. Are they starting to get light enough, and also with the additional cloud cover here, that the cars are starting to mishandle a little bit more than what they thought?
Right there, with this little battle going on for 11th, that's settling down some.
Oh, and I'm seeing Clark Williams now on pit road, missing his front end. Did he end up having more problems? He did. It was a little while ago. I don't think we're going to be able to go back and see it, but he ended up just going straight off into the tire barrier, so I think his day is done.
Yeah, things started to go south for him. He was having a good run, but had some issues and then lost all of his momentum. Let's go up and look at the leader. He is Brian Lockwood. Looking to go wire to wire. Pretty impressive. 6.5 second lead over Ton Janssen. And have we talked about it?
Yeah, and we'll see what this changes, because the last little bit, the track temperature actually went down. So now with some sun, maybe it'll start going up. But hey, by the way, Luca Verani just made a great pass on Nicholas Rasmussen. So the organizer for today, Luca Verani, up into the top 5. Although you might lose it right here, because here comes Rasmussen back on him.
Yeah, we can stay on this one. Stay on a little bit, because it's fun when they go down the straight, and yeah, Rasmussen gets them right back. Yeah. You stay with it live.
Good little pack right here.
Rasmussen in 5th. Up from 10th. Ronnie back there, and here comes a charge from John Miller. Miller ducks to the inside in 5. They are side by side, and he finishes the job. All this going on about almost 14 seconds behind the leader.
We're hearing Halliburton, who was running in 2nd place, has had more problems. We're going to try to figure out what happened to him, but he is now sitting on pit road.
Things going south for a lot of drivers. Let's check in on 10th position. This is Antonio Vergosa. Oh, what do you got?
It was through 13A again. It was back on lap 8, and he did back in, swung around on him again, except this time it went the opposite direction. He couldn't miss the concrete, so that's why he's on pit road.
All right, the battle for 10th.
But he is back on track, but he has lost a lot of positions.
And we see the pass being made there by that citrus-flavored car of Gabriel Alvarado going around Zaragoza. Everett Paddock in the popcorn position in 12th, watching on. Let's stay with these guys as they work through the final corner, head down into corner number 1. Give you an idea of where that finish line is. Right. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Look how far it is, even in these fast cars. Right there. Here comes the pass from Antonio Zaragoza. Interesting to note, though, that the pass wasn't made before the finish line. So if you're going to snake somebody out of that final corner, it's a tall order on that last lap. Zaragoza on the inside. This is a great view. Riding on board from Paddock, looking ahead at the battle. Oftentimes, that's, in my opinion, this is my favorite one, is to look at the battle ahead from the guy in what we call the popcorn position, watching the show. And now he wants to get into the show. Whoop, no room that way. Put the toothpaste in the jar, go through the middle? No. This is too good to get away from. It continues to be a strong fight. On the outside, Alvarado gets the power down. Zaragoza has to slot in behind. And all that horseplay has now brought in a 4th member. Jupe Bevers comes in. Good racing going on here to crack the top 10.
Well, while we've been watching that, I've been watching Verani and Miller, and they're still going at it tooth and nail here. In fact, Miller coming back on him, going through Kettlebottoms into Canada. He's going to get that pass again. They keep swapping the 6th and 7th position, and while they're racing hard, Nicholas Rasmussen is just checked out on both of them. So right now, it's like they pretty much just almost just need to get back in line and start chasing him back down before they lose touch with that 5th place car completely. But right now, they are locked in on each other.
Okay. We're going to go to replay on this one as we think Zaragoza had some issues. And actually, we'll go to this. I think this we're going to look at here is that. Yeah, there goes Zaragoza goes on. Now Alvarado gets a little bit of help. Come up, Alvarado gets a little bit of assistance, and he goes around. We come back live. I believe giving that help was Jude Vevers in the 33 machine. That was that battle we were talking about, that we were watching. All the action is a little farther back mid-pack. Ton Janssen racing in second. No luck going on there. We're going to jump you around a little bit. We've got some action to go to. Ah, this is fun. Let's drop in on 27, see what's happening down here. Giovanni Solito making the pass on Luciano Lawrence. Both those drivers up a few spots from where they started. A minute and 27 seconds behind the leader last time across the line. 34 cars still on the lead lap.
And Kane Halliburton, who was running second earlier on this race, your second place finisher, he's called it a day after getting involved in another incident. So he is done and out of this race.
This will be fun. Let's watch Brian Lockwood now. The only thing that's going to cost him the win if he gets into trouble working in traffic. Coming up behind the driver in 31st position, Sergio Bionts. Sir Sergio is here. He is the last car on the lead lap. It's a pretty good pace as they head down into corner number 5. With a 7.5 second lead over the driver in second, Janssen, Lockwood can take his time. He's going to get to the inside. Oh, even that was interesting as the car got a little bit squirrely on him. Gets the pass made, and how about a tip of the hat to Bianco, who does a good job of getting out of the way.
Yeah, this would be a good time to mention once again, of course, we're racing here for charity for today. The series organizer, Luca Verani, hoping to raise up to €1,200 for the event here for this afternoon. And of course, you can find the link in the description below if you would like to give to the cause as well. It's formulagiving, I believe.com is what it is. And these guys, of course, racing for that, but also the true cause of this is to help kids out in Mumbai who helping save them from leprosy, starvation, and helping give them an education too. So if you have it, some extra funds available, go ahead and head over to formulagiving.com and help donate to today's event.
A little goes a long way when I saw what can be done here. Back on Verani. Now, Verani just made his way around Lance Simon. Simon gets out of the way. He's a lapped car. And lets John Miller go through as well as that battle for 6th. Let's go up to Verani again as he continues to negotiate now around some more traffic. Vladimir Caldera gets out of the way. Good job as he keeps a straight line down on the inside. John Miller gets through as well.
And I will say that once those two started racing a little bit more nose to tail, they've done a good job as far as cutting down that gap between them and Rasmussen, and that they're getting a little bit closer every single lap, with the exception of this last one. So gains are being made on them.
Our directors found a nice one back here, this battle for 16th position. And we have it, making the move on the outside, Simone Paziaka. Paziaka cannot get that done. Mike Sire hanging on to the 16th spot. All ribbons and curls. Oh, but look at the run. Paziaka has a great run here. Paziaka now moves to the inside. They are Cialis bathtubs going down into 5. Paziaka going to be on the outside, and he says, nope, not going to do it. Sire taking his half right out of the middle. This is fun. Let's stay on this a bit more. Nothing going to happen here. Probably the next opportunity will be after the carousel down that long back straight through the cake, kettle bottoms down into Canada. I've been jumping you around a little bit, give you an opportunity to get a feel for the racing. Call this corner carousel, and you can understand why. Good exit. Sire gets out of the carousel into the cake, and I just don't think Zeke is too far back to make any attack down into Canada.
While that's going on, battle here for 8th and 9th. Mediel Fathi and also Massimio Locatello been going at it here the last little bit. They were side by side there at the end of Road America Straight, and then Massimo has had a fall off just a touch. In fact, that was actually a pass that was made by El Fathi there going down the Road America Straight.
Yeah, I've been following this one a lot. This one has been really intense. El Fathi makes the pass now. Locatello back is going to have to do his best to hang with him. Locatello gridded in 5th, but is going the wrong direction as he's lost 4 spots. El Fathi, not the case, as he is up 3 into 8th. Adam, right now, lap traffic is playing a big factor in these battles. 2-car battles are getting broken up as they come up on the lap traffic, which is really sprinkled all the way through the track.
It is. I mean, we're now at a point where it's really separated itself. And looking back now at that battle once again between Mike and Simone, going side by side there, and I think Simone's going to get it.
Oh, there's another position picked up, and these positions matter. There's going to be a lottery in the post-race show, and your chances are better depending on which group of 10 you're in. You want to be in the first to 10, you got your best chance. 11 to 20, not quite as good. You get the idea. 21 to 30, not quite as good as that. Stick around. Have some fun. Watch the post-race show. All this ongoing behind the man that they need to check his luggage for stolen towels because he has checked out Brian Lockwood. Almost 10 seconds up on the field. 27th position had an issue. We're going to take a look at this. It was Martin Booker. Booker was in a battle with Giovanni Saletto, but corner number, looks like corner 5. He goes a little bit wide. And brings it back on. Just another one of the issues that the drivers are facing here at Road America.
And we thought the track temperature would be a story at the start of this race, but clouds keep moving over, and the track temperature has hardly moved at all. Still only sitting at about 75 degrees. So that, at least at this point, does not appear it's actually going to end up being a factor, Sue.
No, not at all. Boy, you would think with the large field that we'd have, it'd be easy to find some close battles going on, but I'll be honest with you. Let's go to 16th. This is the best one. Paziaka in this battle with Mike Sire. Also maybe getting in Tim Phillips is back there in 18th position and might bring in Loic Barbie as well. We've watched Barbie race in the Apex Online Racing, guys, and he's pretty quick. He had some issues. This is a good battle going on. Barbie's coming. First on his hit list is Tim Phillips. This will be for 18th position.
So you hit the nail on the head a little while ago about the lap cars breaking up the battles, and I mean, lap traffic hasn't really played a role as far as getting into leaders or anything like that. But just them being out there is causing the battles to be broken up a little bit. But one battle that was broken up by those cars, and I don't want to leave it, but we do want to keep an eye on it over the next couple minutes, is that battle once again for 5th, 6th, and 7th as Varani is slowly catching Rasmussen. He's not there yet, but he's coming.
I've been watching that one as well. Let's stay on this one here. This is Barbie going to make a run. I really think he's going to get this passed on the main straight now. That is Phillips taking a nice straight line going into one. Barbie pulls out. He gets alongside. He'll have the inside preferred position going into the sweeping first corner. Once again, the car kind of stalls out when they get side by side, but I think position is going to play out here. Let's credit Loic Barbie with another position up. Next up for him, Mike Sire. Sire has lost touch with Bazika, who is up there in 16th position. Work on a lap car of Nick Thomas. Let's go to Barbie again. Here he comes. Inside of Sire, going to get this done into corner number 5. Boy, he is picking him off. 2 or 3 a lap. One more spot for Loic. Oh, man, he keeps it going. And up ahead, Pazika apparently has had, I didn't see, did he have an issue? I guess so. Yep. Saw that on screen. Right on board. Simone. That's a back marker. He's throwing underneath. Corner number 6 takes a little wide, puts it in the grass. So more positions for the guys behind. 6 laps to go.
A surprise battle that might be starting to develop maybe before this thing is over. I've been watching Luke Barton slowly catching Ton Jensen. I mean, he's still a little ways back behind him, but if Ton slits up just once, he might be there. Hey, there's another battle racetrack suit.
I think that's Varani. As we're looking at the same thing. Varani gets around Rasmussen. You called it. He's coming. Rasmussen, I think, got checked up a little bit by traffic in front of him. Director? Well, Miller got around Varani as well. Rasmussen made a mistake, so things are really shaken up there. So here's what's up. Move Miller to 5th, Varani to 6th, Rasmussen now back to 7th. Take a look at the replay. On board with Nicholas. Yeah, maybe a slowdown penalty, or he missed a shift. Something
yeah, that looks like a missed shift.
So, when the dust settles, Miller is in 5th, Varani, and then Rasmussen goes 6th and 7th. And that'll be fun to watch, because I'm not sure those guys are racing in order of their speed right now. I really think, Adam nailed. I think the driver in 6th, Luca Varani, has a good handle on the car. About 5 car lengths back of Miller right now. We'll keep an eye on this one. There'll be 4 laps to go when they come across the line.
In that battle potentially for 2nd that I was talking about, Luke Barton shaved another 0.3 of a second off Ton Jensen here the last little bit.
Yeah, the gap 1.3.
I mean, he's going to have to do that about each and every lap from here on out and then try to get around him. So we'll see. But it could very well tighten up by the end of this thing.
George Johnson racing in 2nd, qualified in 6th. Barton.
Here's Varani now. Varani making a good move on Miller.
Yeah, that didn't take long, did it? I had a hunch it was coming. He got there faster than I thought. Oh, cannot get it done on the outside of 5.
But he's still there. Oh, and here comes Rasmussen right back on it. They almost touch wheels.
Oh, Varani had to really check off to stay off of Miller, and Rasmussen is right there now.
So now we're going back to how this was, about 10 or 12 laps ago.
Don't need to go there. I can report the driver racing was in 12th position. Alex Westphal had a spin. He's going to fall several spots back. But this is where we want to stay. This battle to break into the 5th position. They come around. There's some more accidents going on. Take a quick seat. Is it important? Nope. Nobody that matters. Bazika had an issue. We saw him have early problems earlier on. Miller, Ronnie, and Rasmussen. 5, 6, and 7. Riding on board with Luca. Adam, while we're watching this, I can report that Janssen able to maintain his gap over Barden about 1.5 seconds. I think he's going to be able to hang on to it if he keeps his pace. Boy, this is a fun one, though, here. It's not often that the event organizer is also the guy putting on the best show right now. And that's what's happened. They go into 3. All right. Luca, let's see what you can do out of 3. Now, 4 is really not a corner. They go to the Moraine straight down into 5, though. This is the passing zone. What type of line will Miller take? He leaves the door open. And Luca says, thank you very much. Would you like to buy a vacuum cleaner? No, they're going to fight it out. They remain side by side. And again, Rasmussen gets the best show in the house.
And Rasmussen trying to take advantage of that right there. Looks to the inside of Miller. Thinks better of it, though.
All right, Varani now makes the pass. I think he has the pace to drive away from Miller, but we'll see. We can stay on here. This is the best battle. It's fun to watch one without jumping around. They head towards the kink. So far this race, this has not been a passing zone down into Canada, but a great run through the kink from Miller. Oh my goodness, or a bad run for Varani. Here comes Miller with a head of steam, but he waits.
Got to be careful about waiting too much. This race winding down in a hurry at this point.
Don't know if Miller was really good out of the kink or if Luca got a little bit loose, but my gosh, the gap was closing. Now this is where a lot of passes have been made. Down into corner number 1. Interesting to point out, though, that you're not going to be able to get this pass made before the finish line, so any hopes of sniping somebody for a win is going to look at Luca try to hold his line through the middle. Miller peeks a nose in there, can't get it done. And that allows Rasmussen to get back in. Rasmussen now with a run down into 3. Oh, this is going to be fun down into 5. I think Miller's too far back to be a threat to Varani. Not the case though for Rasmussen. He's about 3 car lengths back. Is he going to force the issue? He gets a tow. He might be getting there too late. Looks to the inside. Can he do it under braking?
Ooh, late braking there.
Boy, he put the pressure on Miller. Couldn't get it done, but that was fun to watch. Great racing for 5th. 3-car battles are always so much more entertaining, exponentially more exciting than a 2-car battle.
It's worthy to note that just behind these pair, Mehdi Alfathi and Massimo Locatello still going at it for 8th and 9th. So you got 2 battles right there that are going to be coming down to the line.
I think Varani now has the rhythm. He starts to drive away from Miller. Miller under attack from Rasmussen. As they head down into Canada, again, this is not a passing opportunity today.
Oh, Luca, big mistake there.
Luca.
Almost loses the back end. Somehow is able to save it and not lose all that much time.
He lost enough time, though. He was driving away. Now he's got some more work to do. Coming across, are we on the white flag lap? I believe we are. Nope. No, one more, 2 to go. Yes, I was watching this, and here comes the pass. Side by side, and Rasmussen gets him. You talked about it, though, Adam. They got to be careful, or El Fadi will be there soon. There is a nice battle. That battle, if we can drop back to ninth real quick. That battle is heating up. We've watched it before. El Fadi and Locatello. Great battling going on here for 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then 8th and 9th between these two guys. Oh, mistake from Nicholas.
Mehdi Al-Fathi right behind him. So that changes that complexion as well, as now Rasmussen right alongside Miller.
Look at this. They continue to fight. This is good news for Varani, who contrives away. Miller fends off Rasmussen. It's only 1 second now. Back to El Fadi. El Fadi is coming. Oh, I'm wrong. It's not El Fadi, is it? It's Lucatello. You're right. I missed what you said there.
And our leader, Brian Lockwood, taking the white flag now.
14 seconds to the good of Ton Janssen.
You know, he's had a great race. We haven't talked about our leader hardly at all.
Halliburton, maybe his biggest threat when Halliburton had an issue was pretty much good night nurse. Janssen not home yet in second as Barden's got it down to a second. In 5th, Varani was able to drive away. Let's go to 6th position real quick. This is a fun one. This is Rasmussen and Miller as they go through corner 1. Nothing happening there. But here comes the driver in 8th. Massimino Locatello. Our leader going through carousel right now. All right. Miller on the outside of Rasmussen. Oh, there goes Nicholas into the wall. El Fadi and Woodford be able to get around those guys. A quick replay. Our leader just going into Canada. And our leader coming out of the final corner on 14 now, heading towards the finish line. 2019, the winter season. Our winner is Brian Lockwood. Coming across 14 seconds ahead of Ton Janssen. Luke Barton, try as he might, is going to finish about a half second back of Janssen for 3rd. Dennis Veldeking, a very quiet run for him in 4th. Luca Varani had an excited run, be able to drive away from the guys who were chasing him. He gets the top 5 spot.
I like how Ross Woodford, he didn't hit him at all in that final battle, but here he is after all the stuff that happened. Home 6.
22 cars on the lead lap, finishing them out. I look for a battle throughout the field. I just don't see one. So as all the drivers finish their final lap, we're going to take a short break here on the Global SimRacing Channel, but don't go far. We will be back to run down the entire finishing order of all 51 cars that took the grid, talk to some of the drivers, and then, before we put a lock on the gate with some excitement going on, we got some lotteries and prizes to give away in the post-race show. So don't go far. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of this very special charity event. It is indeed the Formula Giving Race for Vimala, a charity event to help children around the world benefit with health care and education. Let's go ahead and give you the finishing order of the race that we just saw right now. And Adam, I've lost my page, so why don't you go ahead and take that for me?
Yeah, Brian Lockwood, just a fantastic drive out there for today, leading flag to flag. He's going to take home the win. Ton Jansen didn't have himself too bad of a drive. Luke Barton was doing everything he could to catch Ton, but just couldn't get there at the end. Denise Vettiking coming home in 4th position in that crazy battle there at the end, from 5th going all the way back to 10th position. Luca Verani coming home in 5th, Ross Woodford in 6th, John Miller in 7th, Massimo Locatello in 8th, Mehdi Alfathi in 9th, Everett Paddock in 10th position.
And now we'll go to the drivers 11 through 20. You can find your favorite drivers there. Up 7 spots, Jude Bibbers having a great run. Another driver up several positions was Alex Westphal. He comes home in 12th. 30 to 13th for Massimiliano Pasaviento. I wish I would have got to call him more, as he's in the Baker's Dozen position. Antonio Zaragoza behind him. Nicholas Rasmussen, we watched him have some excitement. He goes 15th, just ahead of Loic Barbie, who put on quite a show. The last 4 drivers on this page: Mike Sayer, Bruno Berg, Florian Bunchuk, and then we go down here to Josh Brain in 20th. I think that's my job. Back over to you, Adam.
Yeah, and then going into 21st position, Christopher Amon, Gabriel Martin Alvarado. He had himself a good run for most of the day, ended up finding some trouble in the back half of the race, but still finishes on the lead lap. Giovanni Saltalo, Martin Booker, Neil Dawkins in 25th position, Tim Phillips in 26th, Marcio Martin in 27th, Sergio Bianco in 28th, Elaine Day 29th, 30th position is going to be Luciano Lorenco.
Then we get down to the last half of the field. It's Klaus Gruger, Joe Walker, Robert Sugar Plumley in the 33rd position, John Michael Sanchez behind him, Fabian Siegmund in the 35th position, Simone Hazika behind him, Fabrizio Giorgini, I want to get that one right. I didn't do a very good job. 37th. Take a drink, everybody. Mario Pence in 38th. The next 2 spots are going to go to Vladimir Verdella and Nick Thomas. Adam?
In 41st position, you'll find Frank Moots, Nyat Khan Win. He'll be in 42nd position. 43rd, Stuart Milley. 44th, Lance Simon. 45th, Tom Van Humen. Adam Levitt. 46th, Kane Halliburton, who started second, was running second most of the race, found himself in some trouble. 47th for him today. 48th, Clark Williams. 49th, Colin Jackson. 50th will be Derek Beattie. And then following out here, rest of the field, Alex Schmidt comes home shotgun on the field. Lewis Emerton did not take the green flag here today.
They just cannot pay me enough to have to do a grid, go through the field on one of these races. Fortunately, now I get to something I do enjoy doing. That's talking to a race winner, and that's Brian Lockwood. Brian goes wire to wire. I do have some questions for you, Brian, but easier than you probably thought it would.
Well, yeah, the race ended up just, I had to focus on not making any major mistakes. Once Kane spun, the pressure was certainly taken off a little bit, and I just tried to maintain my pace as well as I could.
Okay, now you never had anybody make an attack on you, but maybe you can help me understand. Usually Canada Corner is a great passing opportunity, but we could see drivers coming out of the kink, getting a run down into Canada, and then the car would stall. Does it top out there? Do you have any idea why that would happen?
Yeah, especially with the draft and the high speeds at Road America. A lot of the time, and we had this issue too, your qualifying setup will run out of gear on the run down to Canada Corner. Some people, it happens worse than others. Depends on your downforce, of course, and all the other settings. But most likely, yeah, they're just running out of gear.
Got it. That makes sense. Is this your car of choice? What if you had your opportunity? What do you feel the strongest in on the iRacing platform?
Well, this season we've been focused on we, meaning my team, Racecraft Engineering, and our partners, the Racing Network. We've been focused on the Formula 3 this season. We've been playing around. We've also had some great results in the GT3 and the GTE, so we might be moving over there. But I'd say right now F3 is probably our strongest.
Okay, look, GSRC has a lot of seasons starting up all over the chart. Find one here that we cover. We'd love to see you race on some more broadcasted events, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, and good luck. We have a lottery coming up. There might be some prizes coming your way. Brian Lockwood, our race winner today. Adam?
Yeah, and up next, we got our second place finisher today, Ton Jensen. And Ton, great drive out there for today. I got to ask, though, were you starting to feel a little bit of pressure there toward the end with Luke Barton starting to catch you a little bit?
Well, yes, it was very, very, very exciting in the end. I did have some problems with some back markers. Not that they didn't want to let me through, but they, 2 or 3 times they spun in front of me. Also back markers that were in attack mode with each other. I had to make some evasive maneuvers. But I knew I couldn't catch Brian at all, so I was just hoping I could keep my second place. And in the end, I did manage to do that. So, for me, it was very good. I had a good start, and I could gain 2 or 3 places. Then 2 guys in front of me spun. Yeah, and the rest, went pretty fine.
Well, I got to ask, being the type of event that it was, here for charity, and of course you guys put on a great show for that. Is how does that weigh in your mind? I mean, obviously it's not going to weigh in your mind by driving, but I mean, do you think about what you're trying to raise money for before and after the event?
Yes, of course. You know it's for a charity event. You also know you need to put up a good show, and you don't want to bang each other off the track. So yeah, you keep that in mind, of course, so you don't make too much aggressive maneuvers. Keep it clean. Very different than the normal racing during the normal weeks. So you do keep that in mind, of course. I think most of the drivers also made a donation for the event, so that's a very nice thing.
Well, Ton, appreciate you stopping by here for today. Congratulations on the second place finish, and I look forward to seeing more of you around.
Thank you.
All right, and I believe Soup is going to catch up with Luke Barton here next.
We're bringing him down here. Luke, it's Soup here. Long time since we talked to you on the Apex Online Racing guys. Nice run for you today.
Yeah, hey guys, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it was a great race. I really enjoyed it, actually. I got a great start, but I didn't want to take too many risks on the first lap, so I just played it cool. Sort of let people fall off in front of me, and then when I got a bit of clear air behind Ton, I could just sort of get my head down, pump in some good laps. In the end, he was just a little bit too quick for me to catch. The back markers were a bit tricky as well, like a lot of people spinning and fighting with each other. But everyone was really well behaved, and all in all, it was a great race.
I know you can't get into the head of the guy you're chasing, but do you think he was just minding the gap, or do you think if you had a few more laps, you might have been able to get to Janssen?
Do you know what? I actually think if I had a few more laps and I could just get in his slipstream, then I think it would have been on. But he's a very quick guy. I can't take anything away from him. I've seen him in the practice session, and he's got a lot of pace.
Well, it was fun to watch you race. It's always great to see you here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We hope to have you on some more broadcaster races in the future. Good luck to you. Stick around. You might get yourself a chance for some prizes here.
Cheers, Soup.
Luke Barton, your podium finisher here today. Adam, you got one last guy to talk to, and he's a fun guy.
Yeah, we've got Luca Verani in here. And hey, Luca, first, I mean, obviously we want to talk to you about the event, but first let's talk about the race and the kind of drive that you guys are having to do there in the back half of the race. That got exciting there for a while.
Hi guys, so it's my turn to ask. Was it a good race?
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, I want to hear what it was from your seat going in the back half of the race.
Yeah, for me it was great actually, but of course I can only see around me. Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't know how tough it looked from the outside, but what I can tell you is that I had my heart rate monitor on, and towards the end, when I was first catching and then fighting with Niklas, my heart rate was up to 150. Just by comparison, it dropped immediately to 110 when John and Niklas started to fight with each other, and I could just go ahead. So yes, it was tense.
Oh, it definitely seemed like it from up here, and glad you're able to get away with that and pull ahead to that 5th place finish. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the event itself and how this came to be, and tell us a little bit more too about what you're raising money for here today.
Yeah, first of all, let me thank the sponsor. They have all been very generous. Let's start with the drivers. We have collected, I think we are up to 800 euros with the donations that arrived today. I haven't processed them. I was organizing the race. So that's very generous. Thanks to everybody. Then, of course, iRacing. They donated $1,000. Half of it is going to go as a prize for the drivers. Half of it will go directly to Vimala. And I'll tell you in a second what Vimala is. VRS, 600 euros, dollars. Donation, all going to the drivers. They were getting VRS credits. By the way, if I may be a little bold, everybody subscribes to VRS for the setups. I recommend people actually use the telemetry service. It's really very sleek and can help a lot to improve your driving. Then going on, I sound like an advertisement, but I really mean what I'm saying. So going on, there is Esingfeld Engineering. They just launched a new set of high-quality pedals, the Sim Sprint pedals. They're worth about 600 euros. They have been put out on auction. So far, the highest bid is 850 euros. So again, thank you very much to everybody. And finally, Dexter Castro is going to paint a personalized livery to one of the drivers. So thanks a lot again to everybody. And of course, thanks to you guys for broadcasting once again this event.
Well,
now,
it's always a joy to do here, Luca.
So talking about the charity instead, it's the Vimala Center. So my wife, for work reason, goes to India about once a year, 3 times every 2 years. And by chance, she once met Sister Bertilla. Sister Bertilla is a nun. She goes around the slums of Mumbai, and she does 2 things. One, she cures people affected by leprosy. It's actually very easy to cure. It just takes some antibiotic, but people in Mumbai have no access to it, so they just die. So one of their activity is a hospital of sort, taking care of sick people. We are not supporting this directly. Her other activity instead is taking the orphans, kids from the slums of Mumbai, or the kids of leprosy patients, and hosting them in her hostel, let's say, in her center. So she provides food, she provides an education, clothes, and everything. And there are some, in my view, incredible success story. There is a kid that she joined Vimala when she was 3. She was sleeping with rats in the slums of Mumbai, as I was saying earlier. She went on through the Vimala education to actually go to college, and now she is a teacher. So really, that's making quite a difference. And the cost for a kid is about 800 euros per year. So, you know, if we can do this race once every year, we raise 2,400 euros each time, we're going to support 3 kids just about forever, which is not too bad in my view.
No, it's not. You know, and me personally, I do something, somewhat similar as far as coaching basketball in the Bahamas every year, and it's really cool, for the kids when they're provided this kind of thing, and it might be the only free type of thing that they see all year round, and it's really important to try to help them out. And glad you're doing your part for the kids there in Mumbai. So hey, Luca, we're going to go ahead and do the lottery spins. You want to stick around for that?
Of course I do. And just let me add very quickly, if you want to see the pictures of the kids, the conditions they are in, we're certainly not at the Hilton. I mean, we're not throwing away monies. Just go to the www.formulagiving.com site and you will have information and pictures on Vimala. And please go on with the lottery.
And Luca, it's super. What are we giving away here on this lottery? These are racing credits we're giving away, or is this, what was this?
Yes, this is iRacing giving credits to up to 10 people.
Outstanding. Well, let's get the show on the road. What we're going to do is we're going to give away 70 racing credits to somebody who finished in the top 10, and we're going to spin this wheel right now. Here comes the spin. You can see it on there, and it's going to go to one of the drivers in the top 10, and that is going to be the driver in what position? Position 5.
Yeah, I'm not eligible.
Luca, let's spin this one again, as that would have went to Lucas Ferrani. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I never won anything in my life, and I won this lottery last year and this time as well. It's just not fair.
All right, the man who finished on the podium, Luke Barden, is going to get 70 racing credits. We're going to do this again for the guys in the top 10. Luca wins. Spin that around, and this time it's going to go well. Very appropriately, it's going to go to our race winner, Brian Lockwood. But hang on, there's more. We're going to do this again for the drivers who went 11 to 20th, and they're going to get 60 racing credits. Let's spin the wheel. Click, 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 click. And it's going to be 16.
Good sound effects. Good sound effects.
You like that one? Oh, is there sound effects I didn't get to hear? Luke Barbie wins that one. Okay, well, we're going to try this one more time. This time it's going to come around, and it looks like winner. Oh, it's going to go way down to 20th. So 60 credits are going to go to Josh Brain. We know him from the Absolute Beginner League. We're not done yet. We're going to do it again for drivers 21 to 30th. Spin that wheel. Joker, Joker, Joker. Give me a Joker. Here we go. 22nd. That's going to be right below Josh Brain. It's going to be Gabriel Martin Alvarado. He's going to win it. We're going to do it one more time. This is for 50 credits. This is fun. I like this. 24, and that's going to go to Martin Booker. Martin Booker gets that one. We're almost done, but we're not done yet. We're going to try it for drivers 38th first to 40th.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying this.
Goes to the driver in 38th. That's Mario
Pesce. Mario Pesce.
Pesce. There we go. One more time. Get Luca in here. Oh, 36. And that, oh, we got another one for you, Luca. How about this one? Simone
Pizzica or Pizzica. I don't know. I will have to ask him.
Simone Pizzica. Let's joke. Can we please hire Luca to help us do the rundowns, please? All right. Is that it, or are we done? We doing one more? This one, is this the big one? This is 41 all the way to the end, if I know right here. All right, spinning this one around, and our winners, this is our complete field. We may need to spin this one again if it goes too far. What do we get? No, 44, that'll work. And that's going to be Lance Simon. And one more. This is fun. Let's forget the racing. Let's just do this every week.
If you just convince iRacing to give us the credit, sure.
There you go. All the way down. It's oh, you know what? I guess they have to finish to get this one, so it would not go. Let's try this one more time, Joe. We can go all the way down to, I think, 45th position here. We may have to.
Just pick a number, guys. I can deal with it after the race.
Right. Oh, we'll give it to 46. Come on, he was the best of the rest. Let's give it to Adam Levitt down there in 46 spot. So there you have it. Congratulations to all the winners. Luca, it was a lot of fun. We hope that I'm so happy to be part of this one, and bless you for the work you do.
Thank you, guys. And you're already booked for next year event.
Outstanding. I'm glad to be part of it. Luca Verani, thank you very much. And, hey, you put on the best show of the race, by the way. Not only do you do this for charity, but you were the star of the show and the driving, so congratulations.
Nice. Thank you.
All right. Let's go ahead and read the scripture that officially thanks Luca Verani for organizing this event and contracting with GSRC to broadcast. Thanks to the series sponsor, and we will the charity that we're giving this to. On screen now are some of the equipment and software used to stream cyberspace into your place. The original music is thanks to Eric Eckham and June Lalonde. Sliding across your screen are some upcoming broadcasts. Check them out. If you want more information about us, globalsimracingchannel.com, Twitter, GSR Channel, Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. If you haven't done so yet, hit the big red button, become a YouTube subscriber here to GSRC. So finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Adam and Joe and Dougie. I'd like to thank all of you for watching as we got to enjoy Brian Lockwood going wire to wire here at Road America in a Formula 3 machine. With that being said, it's time to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.